Empoli. They were beaten 4-2 by Empoli. That's what happened in that encounter. Sassuolo will play against Venezia later, and Bologna will host AC Milan. In the German Bundesliga, it is Arminia Bielefeld 0, Borussia Dortmund 2. Borussia Dortmund, of course, they would be without Erling Braut Haaland. They said for several weeks he's injured, but they are leading 2-0 against Arminia Bielefeld. Bayern Munich are also 2-0 up against Hoffenheim. RB Leipzig 3, Greuther Fürth 1, and Wolfsburg, they're losing 2-0 at home to Freiburg, while Hertha Berlin later will take on Borussia Mönchengladbach. In the French Ligue 1, it is Nantes 0, Clermont Foot 0, and later we will have Lille taking on Brest. Okay, so these are the matches that we've got lined up. Of course, we'll keep you up to speed with things as they unfold. All right, so that is what's happening in the ever exciting world of football. Of course, it is Saturday Sports Fiesta, so we talk all sports, not just football. But we'll get to that. For now, let's just tell you exactly what is happening in the world of football. And of course, tomorrow it's going to be the big one, the Super Falcons of Nigeria. They will be taking on the Black Queens of Ghana. That match is going to be at 5 p.m. This is coming from the media officer of the team, Oluchi Tobes-Chukwu, my very good friend. So she has said that they are flown to Ghana via Airpeace. You know, they have this partnership with the Nigeria Football Federation to fly the national teams of Nigeria to and from venues of matches. So your Super Falcons are there, and they will be taking on the Black Queens of Ghana in what promises to be an exciting encounter. The Super Falcons, of course, 2-0 winners from the first leg, and we hope that they will be able to get the desired results to qualify for the African Women Cup of Nations. Right, that's the situation. Let's just put you in the right mood for the Super Falcons match by listening to this song that we usually play when our national teams are in action. We'll be right back. right, welcome back to Saturday Sports Fiesta, live on 92.7 KFM Benin City. With me, Sali Ibrahim, the Sports Ibracadabra. Yes, that was just to put you in the right mood for the game that's coming up tomorrow at 5 p.m. The Mighty Super Falcons of Nigeria versus the Black Queens of Ghana. That match is going to be taking place in Accra, and the Super Falcons have got a 2-0 lead from the first leg. So we'll see what happens in that return encounter. And of course, the Ghanaians are talking tough and saying that they can beat the Super Falcons of Nigeria. We'll see what happens tomorrow when this two great footballing nation take to the field. So the Super Falcons just know that a draw or a loss of not more than one goal, as in one goal margin, whether 2-1, 3-2, 4-3, whatever, it should be enough to qualify them for the African Women Cup of Nations. So we wish the Super Falcons the best as they try to qualify for the AFCON, and that will also be the qualifier for the World Cup, because it's the top 4 teams in that competition that will qualify to represent Africa at the World Cup. So good luck, Super Falcons. We hope that they would be able to get all 3 points against the Black Queens of Ghana, or at least get the results that they need. A draw, as I said, will be enough. Low score loss should also be enough to qualify the Super Falcons. All right, guys, let's go on this quick break. We will be right back.
Milo! I greet you. I beg, I won't buy 2 sachets of Milo.
Okay, but you sure say you don't want to try something else?
This something else when you talk so. You get Active Go.
Eh? Active waiting.
Active Go, now that mix we get proto malt, minerals, plus vitamins.
Eh? Proto waiting.
Make you no worry. Just give me my Milo. Because as it is so, this is what they buy for my pikin them. I know they joke with them more.
Make you give your pikin them ogbonge energy. Milo Active Go with the goodness of malt, milk and cocoa. We go help your pikin them to stay active every day. Milo, energy to fit do more.
Welcome back to Saturday Sports Fiesta. We're talking about the African Women Cup of Nations. Well, that competition will be coming up in 2022 from the 2nd to the 23rd of July, and it's going to be staged in Morocco. So the Super Falcons, of course, are the defending champions. They've won this competition 9 times. The only other country that has won it in Africa is Equatorial Guinea. They've won it twice, while the Super Falcons have won it 9 times. Okay, so we see how the Super Falcons will play in this encounter tomorrow. They just need to keep their heads down and get the result that they need to advance in this competition. Okay, update from the English Premier League. It's Crystal Palace 1, Newcastle United 0. Christian Benteke with the goal. So we'll see how that pans out for them. Everton 1, Watford 1. Of course, this is an encounter that Nigerian interest. William Troost-Ekong is on the pitch. He's even picked up a yellow card, and of course we've got Alex Iwobi lining up for Everton. Okay, so that's what's happening over there. 1-1 as we look at Amanda Slaveley, not happy at all, despite the takeover from Newcastle United and the change in managers. Well, So still seems nothing is quite happening for them just yet. And as I've said, I think the problem is they would hope that they will qualify. They will remain in the English Premier League for this season, so that by next season they can start, the Arab money can kick in, and they can begin to buy players, all the top quality players that they hope to get to really make a statement in the English Premier League. Well, Leeds United, they are losing at home 1-0 to Wolverhampton Wanderers, and right now it is Southampton 2, Burnley 2. That's what is going on in that encounter. And of course, later it's going to be Brighton and Hove Albion taking on Manchester City. That's what we have going on in the English Premier League. And we stroll to other leagues and look at what's happening there. Valencia played against Mallorca, and that match ended in a 2-2 draw. Right now it is Cadiz taking on Deportivo Alaves. Deportivo leading 1-0. And then later is going to be Elche taking on Espanyol, and Athletic Bilbao will play against Villarreal. In this Italian Serie A, it's done. Empoli beat Salernitana 4-2 at home, while Sassuolo will play against Venezia later. Bologna will also take on AC Milan. I mean, the German Bundesliga, it is Arminia Bielefeld 0, Borussia Dortmund 3, Bayern Munich, wow, it has gone to 4-0 now against Hoffenheim, while RB Leipzig are 4-1 up against Greuther Fürth. And then Wolfsburg, they are trailing 2-0 at home to Freiburg. Hertha Berlin will play against Borussia Mönchengladbach later. Nantes versus Clermont-Foot, it is goalless there. Later, Lille will take on Brest. That's what we have happening in the French League 1. Okay, all right, guys. Time to introduce you to CJ, the maestro, who just got in. CJ, welcome to the show. Well, we've been looking at what's happening. Of course, the big one tomorrow, the Super Falcons will be taking on the Black Queens of Ghana. They've told us that they are already there now, and we'll see what happens in that encounter. But earlier today, Chelsea absolutely obliterated Norwich City. Norwich, of course, bottom of the table and all of that, first versus bottom, so you expected a win, but knowing that Chelsea didn't have a striker going into this encounter, maybe there were some fears that they might not get goals, but it was just absolutely no problem. 7 goals scored by Chelsea.
Well, it was a wonderful day in the office for Chelsea, a comfortable day in the office for Chelsea, a day that Norwich would want to forget in a hurry. If you, of course, look at the first half of the encounter, the goal galore started from the first half, and it, of course, spread into the second half of it. Norwich City were just nowhere to be found. They could not find their feet in the game, whether in the first half or probably in the second half. We even went as far as seeing an own goal coming from one of their players during the course of the second half of this encounter. Mason Mount doing the Lord's work, getting a hat-trick for Chelsea Football Club. And we also saw a couple of familiar guys getting on the score sheet as well. Reece James usually doesn't get on the score sheet that regular for Chelsea, but then he, of course, weighed in. Ben Chilwell also was able to get a goal for himself. Above all, I think Chelsea had a comfortable day in the office, and it's, of course, a wonderful result for Chelsea Football Club, as well as you can, of course, count this one as another clean sheet for the big man, talking about Edouard Mendy. For the Super Falcons of Nigeria,
there was a time Edouard Mendy almost conceded in this encounter, but he didn't even care that I think they were 3-0 up at that point. The way he made a flying tackle, he didn't even save with his hand. It was a large deal, defensive tackle to save the ball from getting in. And the way he celebrated, how pumped up he was, it was like he had gone to the other end of the field to score a goal. The way he celebrated, so you could really tell that he wanted to keep that clean sheet.
Yeah, absolutely. You know how it is for goalkeepers. They love clean sheets a lot. They love it when they don't concede. When they concede, these top guys, you see them punching the ground. You see them punching the air. You feel like well, I shouldn't be conceding now. It's like when the goalkeeper concedes, it's a situation where you just draw off their clothes, like take off their clothes, and then you just watch them, the way they came to earth, and that's something that they don't, of course, want to have on a regular basis. Goalkeepers love it; they love to keep clean sheets. Goalkeepers like Edouard Mendy. So for him, I'm not surprised that he's got another one. He's always a serious guy. He's of course a guy who never loses concentration. If he gets to concede a goal, you know that it wasn't his fault, and he had done everything humanly possible to ensure that he didn't concede. So kudos to him, and also kudos to the lads for a wonderful day in the office for Chelsea Football Club. And of course, for the Super Falcons, tomorrow, I think by 5 p.m. or according to the media officer, according to the media officer of the Super Falcons, it's another date with destiny. We saw a good game midweek. We saw a 2-0 win for the Super Falcons of Nigeria. In as much as we do not like the scoreline against Ghana away from home, the Super Falcons should be getting us goals, or at least trying as much as possible to see out that game. The truth is this: if we end the first half of the encounter tomorrow with us getting a goal, I think the Ghanaians will come at us in the second half. That's if they decide maybe not to attack in the first half of it. They will definitely come at us in the second half, and then try to score a goal. And the moment they get a goal first before we do get, then we are in for a serious business.
I would expect that the Ghanaians will be coming out since they need to overcome a 2-goal deficit. I don't expect that they will wait in the first half for Nigeria to attack and try and defend. Then if we fail to score, that's when they will come out. I think from the very blast of the week, I was surprised if they don't do that, honestly, because if you are chasing 2 goals and you give the whole of first half to your opponents, maybe you want to see how they will attack you. I don't know, so when are you going to start the fight back? But if you're able to get a goal very early in the game, in the first half, it puts your opponent under pressure, and then you can now plot how to get the second goal.
Well, I'm only saying in a situation where they fail to score in the first half, of course, you know how it is. They'll just leave everything there in the second half of it. So for the Ghanaians, they've got it all to play for. For the Super Falcons, they don't want to disappoint Nigerians again. They were not at the Olympics. That's a massive disappointment for us. The last 2 editions of it, they've not qualified. At the AFCON, it's more like a better for the Super Falcons because they've got to qualify for it, and then of course go to the World Cup if they do well at the African Women's Cup of Nations. So the Ghanaians, I don't think they'll be of too much trouble, even though their coach has also come out to say that the Ghanaian players are more intelligent than the Nigerian players.
So intelligent they could not score, but the unintelligent team scored 2 goals.
That's what you get now when it's just the way it is.
Give and fly.
You can't blame her, because if you look at our results, they've not been good enough in the last 1 year. So when you look at statements,
your team is as good as its last performance, and if a team played you and they beat you, you don't have a right to say they were not intelligent.
I'm also thinking it could also be a mind game, maybe to put off the Super Falcons or to make them feel like, okay, these ones are even more intelligent than us.
It could only spur the Super Falcons to even humiliate them right there in a
but my way is selection. If the coach does get his selection right, then we are in for another good day in the office. We got the selection right on Wednesday. This time around, he needs to, of course, also get the selection right. I don't want to know if he decides to use the same crop of players as his first 11. I don't care. I don't want to know if he decides to change 2 players from the team. No problem. My own is, look, you've got to go in there and get the job done. A lot of Nigerian football fans are already tagging Randy Waldrum a part-time coach. He's got to get us this AFCON ticket. If it doesn't happen, well, we might as well say to him, you have to look for a new job, because the African Women's Cup of Nations,
if you don't qualify for the African Cup of Nations, then you should not even come to Nigeria. You should just from Accra go to the United States of America. No, exactly. What is it coming to do? Absolutely nothing now. Come on. If you do not qualify for the African Cup of Nations, it means you are not qualifying for the World Cup.
Yeah. I hope they know what's at stake. I hope the coach understands what's at stake, and I hope he knows that Nigerian football fans don't take backwardness as a sign of progress, or whatever he wants to put it. So I hope we get the job done tomorrow. If we do, I'll be happy. Even if we play in a bad manner, I wouldn't mind. In the tournament proper, we can start talking about the quality of the game.
All right, so that's what is going on. The Super Falcons of Nigeria will tomorrow be taking on the Black Queens of Ghana. Good luck to the Super Falcons once again. Well, Newcastle United are back in this game. It is 1-1 now. Callum Wilson with the goal. They've got some quality players. Callum Wilson, Alliance at maximum, and you wonder what's really happening with them. So let's see if they can keep this up or if they can even go on to get the winning goal in this encounter. It's now Everton 2, Watford 1. Richarlison, he was out for a long time with injury. He's back now and back among the goals. So we'll see how that one plays out. Okay, let's talk other issues now in the world of sport. Well, first off, this guy was a I don't know if he qualifies as a legend, but come on. He won the English Premier League, I think, 5 times, and he won the Champions League. So he is a legendary Manchester United player. We're talking about Patrice Evra. Remember, he had an issue one time with Luis Suarez, the racist issue. He wasn't happy, even when Luis Suarez was trying to shake his hand, he refused, and all of that. But Patrice Evra is 40 years now. He came out to say, he discussed some things in his new book, and that's I love this game. He said that he was sexually abused as a teenager. Yes, when he was 13 years old, that he used to live with a teacher, that the teacher graciously offered him a room in his apartment that he should be staying there so that he doesn't have to commute for a long distance, coming to school from where his parents' house was to the school. So this man gave him that accommodation, and he thought that it was a good thing, but that he noticed that every night when he's sleeping, this guy will come and start touching him inappropriately. He will even put his hand in his between his legs, and the man will get aroused, will be touching himself and all that. But all this while, he was asleep. He pretended to be asleep, but when the man is going too far, he pushes his hands away and all of that, hoping that that will discourage him and that he will stop it. But he kept on doing it almost daily, and but he never went further than that. But when the man knew it was the last day, he had to go back to his parents. That he basically just forcefully did it. It from what he said in his book, he said it was oral. The man put his private part in his mouth and all of that. And he said he's speaking out now because he wants children to be protected. That he was scared as a 13-year-old. He did not want to tell anybody. That even his mother, he only told his mother 2 weeks ago. Patrice Evra is 40. He said he's just now that he had the confidence to talk to the mother and the courage to talk to the mother, and that the mother was so mad, and the mother said they were going to sue and everything, and then the mother also was begging him not to include it in his book, that look, this is private, just keep it, do not speak about it, don't mention this, don't reveal this in your book. But he said that he told his mother that no, not because of himself as an individual, but because of other children, that so that the children will know that when something like this is happening, you tell your parents, tell people, speak out immediately, do not keep it. That he was ashamed, and that even when he was 24 years old, when he had already become a professional, at this point he wasn't a professional footballer, he'd be just coming up, but when he was already a professional footballer, was playing for Monaco, was one of the best players in the world at that time, was somebody who would play at the World Cup. That other stories came out about the man, and then the police were investigating, and then the police got to know that, oh, Patrice Evra even at one point slept in this man's house for some time. Yeah, and then they came to Patrice Evra and to interview him, and he said, no, the man never touched me inappropriately. That he lied, and he knew he lied, and that was the biggest regret of his life. That he lied because he felt it was going to tarnish his image if he confessed that yes, this man actually, because it was actually rape. That if he said this guy sexually assaulted him when he was a teenager, that so he just wanted to keep his popularity and everything, so he kept quiet. But now, having retired, and now that he's 40 years old, and he also mentioned his fiancée, that she's one woman who is an angel who came into his life and has encouraged him to speak out on certain issues. So he's speaking out now because he wants children to understand that when anything like this is happening, you've got to report to your parents, you've got to report to the authorities, so that these pedophiles in our society, these people who really should be in jail, that they will be discovered and dealt with.
Yeah, I think the most encouraging thing about it is that he's speaking out, even though you can argue that it's a bit late, but no issue. The truth is, he's talking now, which is going to help a lot of people, which is also going to help parents know the kind of people they leave their children with. You know, if those parents had known that the man, you know, was a pedophile, I'm sure they wouldn't have taken him to the man's house to live there. What we do encourage people in situations like this to speak out as early as possible. If he had spoken out at the age of 13 or 14, I'm sure he would, maybe the man would have been prevented from sexually molesting or harassing any other teenager.
Yeah, because he kept doing it. He kept doing it to the point that the police even investigated. But if somebody like Patrice Vieira, who was such a high-profile footballer at that point, I don't know if he didn't tell us what happened to the man eventually. So if Patrice Vieira had spoken out at that point, he was 24, he was one of the brightest stars at Monaco and also for the French national team. If he had come out to say, yeah, this man did it to me when I was a teenager, that was like 11 years earlier. Yeah. This man did the same thing to me.
Sigma had a good career.
Yeah, nobody will believe that this man is actually somebody like that. But he said, to his eternal shame and regret, he did not confess. He didn't tell the police. In fact, he told the police that it was a lie, that the man never molested him. But now he's speaking out because he wants children to understand that it's okay to report issues like this.
Remember the case of Simone Biles? She, of course, also came out to speak out, and that encouraged other people.
Simone Biles and so many of the and the abuse has gone on for years.
Yes,
for years. It's horrible that even within religious circles, within religious organizations, some of the elite religious settings in the world where you expect that children will be free, unfortunately, they are being sexually harassed.
Yeah, and that's why, if you, of course, look at the FIFA laws, usually you are not allowed to sign a player who is under 13, under 14, or under 15 to a professional contract until the player is, of course, old enough to, fend for himself. So if you're getting a player, for instance, from outside the European Union, let's say you're getting a player from Africa, FIFA will tell you that either you're taking this guy with his uncle, you're taking this guy with the father or the mother or the sister. Somebody has got to be able to take care of, the child. So there are laws under the FIFA code that, of course, protect, kids from things like this. But we know how people have gone over the years, to go on to, of course, harass and then, molest teenagers, because those persons feel like these guys are going to be ashamed, or maybe they can coerce them not to speak out until maybe they're old enough, to speak out. So let's see how this one will happen. We hope that the authorities will swing into action. If the man is still alive, they should, of course,
that was what the other was saying, that look, if this man is still alive, we are going to sue him and all of that. Unfortunately, Patrice Evra did not give much details about the situation. He didn't even explain what happened to the man when there was that other case where the police came and they were asking him what the situation is. And look, we hope that these are unpleasant stories. You don't even want to talk about them, but we hope, and maybe we are even comfortable now talking about these things because it's far away. But most of the stories that we've been talking about have been in Europe, in America, in other parts of the world. Yeah. We've not really spoken about Nigeria. Yeah. We don't know what's happening. Maybe because children have not come out. Some of these are footballers, both male. And the horrible thing is that it's terrible if it happens to any of the sexes.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
It's horrible.
Because when you read the story on the BBC, they just said a teacher. They just kept saying teacher. They did not mention the sex of the teacher. Yeah, it was in. If you go, you dig dug deep into the story, that you get to know that it's actually a man. So people were asking, which teacher are you asking? Is it a man or a woman? And some of us were saying, does it really matter? It doesn't matter. It's sexual harassment. Whether it's a woman who was sexually harassing, it's not harassment now, sexually molesting Patrice Evra, it's an offense. If it's a man, it's the same offense. But I think you get the idea. People feel that, okay, if it's a man, and you know, the added trying to look for the appropriate word to use, you know, that behavior that's not acceptable in the society of homosexuality. You know, you are adding it to the sexual harassment. And unfortunately, that's how some of these people how it started, because of the kind of exposure they had as children. People, you know, just introduce them to vices like that, and before you know it, they feel comfortable with their sex. So they see nothing wrong with having intimate relationship with people of the same sex, which is something that is against the religions that we profess, is against our culture, it's just against everything that we accept over here.
Yeah, one reason why we're even talking about it is because it happened in an organized setting. Like you mentioned Nigeria, for instance, some of these things happen here in this country, even in football clubs, and you don't hear about them, you know, because maybe somebody's scared to speak out, so he or she does not, of course, lose out from the team. Or maybe when the child, you know, comes home to tell the parents just say, please, just, you know, keep this. It's a big shame. We don't want to drag our family's name in the mud by the time this story, you know, gets out. So for those kids, you encourage them to try as much as possible to always, you know, speak out, no matter the circumstances. Even if the person puts a gun on your head to say, if you speak out, I'm going to shoot you, you've got to, you know, say it. The truth is, you're not only saving yourself, you're saving another 5 children who would, of course, be sexually harassed or molested by, you know, these sets of people. So we hope that people can learn from Evra's story, and of course, as we also hope that more people will come out to say, oh, this also happened to me 24 years ago when I was a 10-year-old or a 5-year-old. It would help to discourage things like this from happening in society.
Honestly, I hope that parents are listening. Tell your children, encourage them to speak to you. He said he didn't want to cry because his father told him, that was the mentality with which he grew up, that it is a shame to cry. So even when something horrible like this is happening to him at that point, he could not speak out, because there's no way he'll be speaking out that he will not be crying, and doing it tells him that he's weak. So that's why he preferred to keep silent about it, so that nobody will hear about it. But now, having had his career and everything, he just felt, look, if I keep quiet, this thing is still happening. It could still be happening right now to some children. So it's better for me to speak out, so that the children will realize that it's okay. When anything like this happens, just report to your parents. And then parents too will understand that some of these things are happening, so that they will take more steps to protect their children. So please, we want to appeal to our parents. Please be conscious. There's so much evil happening in the world right now. So if you have to leave your children in the care of adults, or even among their peers, you've got to be very conscious of this issue, and encourage your children to open up to you, so that if anything is happening, because many of these people will just scare the children, and you know, children are very impressionable.
Absolutely.
If you say it, you will die, or see before they even touch the children appropriately, they will bring some kind of things and say this is juju or something. So once you open your mouth, that's it, you are dead, and all that. Tell them, make them understand that it's a lie. Nothing will happen, and encourage them to speak to you, so that things like this will not happen. Not that after so many years you start hearing that something like this happened to this person in the past. Okay, let's move on now to more pleasant stories. Mohamed Salah says, if you're a Liverpool fan, this will be news to your ears. He says he wants to stay at Anfield for the rest of his footballing career. Now, he cannot see himself playing against Liverpool, which of course will happen if he chooses to join Real Madrid or Barcelona or Paris Saint-Germain or any other club, maybe a club even in England. You know, that will mean if he doesn't play them against them domestically, he will play against them in the Champions League. And he said right now it is going to make him really, really sad to play against Liverpool. So because of this, he wants to remain at the club. And for somebody that Jurgen Klopp, the manager of Liverpool, calls the best player in the world right now, that's going to be terrific news for Liverpool fans.
Well, that's good news, massive news for Liverpool fans that he's come out to say that he would love to spend the rest of his footballing career at Liverpool. You remember, the Liverpool fans, they've got a song for Salah. They say, Mo Salah, Mo Salah. It's a kind of special song for the Egyptian king himself. He's been getting the goals for them on a consistent basis this season. I think he's scored in about 9 matches in a row, if I'm correct on that. So Liverpool fans will be happy at this point in time that he wants to stay at the club for the foreseeable future. But the big problem now is that there's a contract situation with Salah and of course Liverpool. Liverpool wants him to take a particular amount of money. Salah is saying he does not want that. What we hear, we don't know if it's true. Some people are reporting that Salah wants £400,000 a week. You know, but Liverpool are saying if we pay you that, our club will crash. You know, and we know some of these clubs, some of these big clubs, they have a salary cap. They don't go above. Some clubs pay up to £300,000 a week. Some pay £200,000 a week as the highest. And they can't go, more than that. So I don't know if Salah would compromise, or maybe Liverpool would just, compromise. What we're talking about is not like it's the biggest amount of money in the world. We know players who go as much as taking up to 500,000 pounds a week. Someone like Neymar is within that region. Someone like Mbappe, if he signs his new contract, he should of course be within that region. For a player who is currently the best player in the world, according to Jurgen Klopp, I think he deserves that that money. But if it's going to crush the club, I would advise the club not to, give him that one. Instead, they can give him something within 300 or maybe 350. Depends on how financially buoyant they are. And remember, Liverpool's policy is they sell and buy. And for a club that sells to buy, you know how it is. Paying that amount of money, it's something that would, of course, deplete their bank accounts. The owners of Liverpool are rich enough to afford it, but the way they run their club is not structured in a manner where they pay astronomical salaries to players. Because truth is this, there've been this issue of salaries being doubled or tripled at Liverpool. Remember the case of Emre Can when he said he wanted more money. Liverpool said, look, you're in the final year of your contract. We don't think we can, of course, give you the money you want. I think he wanted up to £100,000 then, and he left as a free agent. I think went to Borussia Dortmund. Also remember the case last season, Jorginho Wijnaldum wanted more money. He wanted, of course, be amongst the highest earners at Liverpool, but Liverpool said, we cannot, of course, give you the money you want us to pay you, and he went to PSG. I hope he's enjoying his football there. So I hope these two examples I've given, Salah will not join them, because you know how it is. If you're on a club doesn't agree on the salary you're going to get at the end of your contract, you may as well walk away, or the club will decide to sell you, so they can of course get some money to sign the player. They will give 5 years contract to.
Wow, it is now Crystal Palace 2, Newcastle United 1, Christian Benteke with another towering header.
The headmaster.
Wow.
The headmaster himself,
Wow.
Christian Benteke.
Yeah, and then how good he is. He scored against them with the header earlier. Just left him completely unmarked, and he just absolutely buried that.
I'm happy for Christian Benteke. He's back. So he's the devastating best.
Yes, 87 minutes now, so Newcastle United is not looking good at all.
And also the referee is not going to.
Okay, the referee is he going to check the? He's going to check it. They're checking for a possible foul. The referee is checking the VAR monitor, the pitch side monitor. The VAR has advised him. Let's see what will come out of this. Nothing wrong from the side of Christian Benteke. Or did he push somebody? Oh, he didn't give the goal. Oh, okay. We
Okay.
can say not
Okay.
Christian Benteke, but
It wasn't
there was-
somebody had to fringe on the Newcastle
his
player.
teammate was
Yeah.
Guehi was
Yeah, so
holding the shirt of a Newcastle United player. So it is back to 1-1. McGuehi there with the foul. Yeah, so the guy could not judge that because I was wondering why didn't anybody jump with Christian
Because the
Benteke.
Newcastle guy would have, contested the ball with Benteke, but then because he was fouled, he couldn't do anything about it.
Yeah,
And that's
so-
one thing about goals like this. You have to check everything before allowing it to go. But again, it's about the VAR. Maybe that's why some people don't like it. After celebrating a goal for like almost a minute, and somebody's telling you it's not actually a goal. Somebody fouled another person that didn't even concern you. That's just the way of the VAR, and of course the way of modern football. Technologies are getting into it to reduce the mistakes referees, they make. Imagine where this goal would have been given.
Wow, look at what's happening at Goodison Park. It is Everton 2, Watford 4.
Watford are having a party.
Wow.
They're having a serious party here.
Well, as we look at that again, and
Wow.
that's a
That's a
sweet goal.
fabulous finish.
Fantastic goal.
That should be just
Watford with they're really doing a number on Everton. Joshua King has scored a hat-trick in this encounter. So Mason Mount isn't the only guy with a hat-trick
This
on
weekend.
this match day. Yeah, Joshua King got the first goal, the third and the fourth goals for Watford. So that's what's going on right now. Okay. So
Everton are just Everton are playing a dangerous game here. With what I'm seeing here, I think they're as good as losing 3 points in this encounter, and they're playing at the Goodison Park, which is of course something that you'd expect them to come in. But they've not had a couple of their matches this last few weeks. They've not been going well for them. I don't know what is wrong at the club. They have a good manager in Rafael Benitez. They've got a good crop of players. They even have better players than Watford does have at this point in time. So you wonder why they're struggling.
all right, let's leave football temporarily. We'll be back, of course, to football. Let's look at what else is happening in the world of sports. Well, we had matches from the NBA in the United States of America. So let's take a look at some of those games. Charlotte Hornets, they defeated Cleveland Cavaliers 123 points to 112. And for Charlotte Hornets, their top performer was Miles Bridges, 30 points, 7 rebounds, and 3 steals. Colin Sexton of Cleveland got 33 points, 4 rebounds, and 1 assist. For New York Knicks, they were able to beat Orlando Magic 121 points to 96. Top performer for New York Knicks was Julius Randle. He got 21 points, 10 rebounds, and 7 assists, while Mo Bamba of Orlando Magic got 15 points, 10 rebounds, and 1 assist. For Indiana Pacers, they lost by just 1 point to Washington Wizards, 135 points to 134. Top performer for Indiana Pacers was Miles Turner, 40 points, 10 rebounds, and 1 steal, and he still ended up losing. Spencer Dinwiddie of Washington got 34 points, 6 rebounds, and 9 assists. Brooklyn Nets won against Philadelphia 76ers, 114 points to 109. Top performer, the guy they call the Unicorn, Kevin Durant, got 29 points, 15 rebounds, and 12 assists. Why? Seth Curry, not Steph Curry, this is brother. Seth Curry got 23 points, 4 rebounds, and 1 steals. Then for the Toronto Raptors, I'm distracted because Watford have just scored again, so it is 5 for Watford. We'll get back to that. Toronto Raptors 115 points, Boston Celtics 83 points. Top performer for Toronto Raptors, Scotty Barnes. He got 25 points, 13 rebounds, and 2 assists, while Jason Tatum from Boston got 18.6 rebounds and 4 assists. New Orleans Pelicans were beaten by Chicago Bulls 128 points to 112. Top performer for New Orleans, Brandon Ingram, 26 points, 8 rebounds and 8 assists, while Zach LaVine got 32 points, 6 rebounds and 5 assists for Chicago Bulls. For Oklahoma City Thunder, they were beaten by the Houston Rockets 124 points to 91. Top performer for Oklahoma was Kenrich Williams, 12 points, 4 rebounds and 3 assists, while Christian Wood of Houston got 31 points, 14 rebounds and 1 assist. San Antonio Spurs lost to Denver Nuggets 102 points for Denver Nuggets, 96 points for Spurs. Top performer for San Antonio Spurs was Keldon Johnson, 27 points, 4 rebounds and 2 assists, while Nikola Jokic from Denver got 32 points, 16 rebounds and 7 assists. For Phoenix Suns, they beat LA Lakers. So LA Lakers losing back-to-back games. The first 2 matches they've lost. 115 points for Phoenix Suns and 105 points for LA Lakers. And guess what? During this encounter, there was something that looked like an altercation between 2 LA Lakers players. We had Anthony Davis, who was their top performer, with 22 points, 14 rebounds, and 3 rebounds, while Chris Paul was just simply amazing. Chris Paul got 23.5 rebounds and 14 assists, and he became the first player in the history of the NBA to score 20,000 points and have 10,000 assists. That's a super record. So for Lakers, Dwight Howard and Anthony Davis were involved in an altercation, but both of them have since spoken and they said, look, it's nothing, we are brothers. When you are losing and you are losing in a bad manner, it happens that you get agitated. So that was just what happened. So there was really nothing. It wasn't like it's something that they made up immediately. Even their coach said the same thing, that look, these 2 guys are brothers, they love each other, and they just got angry at the moment, and they have resolved everything. So that was what happened in the... Okay, there's one more game. Utah Jazz took on Sacramento Kings. Utah Jazz won this 110 points to 101 points. Rudy Gobert of Utah got 17 points, 20 rebounds and 2 assists, while Harrison Barnes of Sacramento got 25 points, 15 rebounds and 3 assists. So those were the top performers of this game. Alright guys, that's what happened in the NBA. Alright, before we go on a break, let's just the matches have ended. Let's quickly run through what's happened.
Well, it's of course goals galore in the Premier League everywhere, and of course we can tell you that for Chelsea. Okay, let's just give the result for Chelsea. Crystal Palace match versus Newcastle has ended 1-1 apiece. For Everton versus Watford, it has also ended. Watford trust Everton 5-2 at the Goodison Park. One for Leeds United and Wolverhampton Wanderers. The match is still ongoing. It's still 1-1, 90 minutes plus 6. So there's 6 minutes of added time here. It's still being played. So let's see how this one would, of course, how it will end and what the scoreline will look like. It's still 1-1 between Leeds United and Wolverhampton Wanderers. For Southampton, their match at home at the St Mary's versus Burnley has also ended. It ended 2-2. While for Brighton and Hove Albion, they face Manchester City at the Amex Stadium, hopefully by 5:30 p.m. this evening. For the other leagues of Europe, let's go to the La Liga Santander. Valencia, they've of course played out to 2-2 draw with Mallorca. Cadiz lost at home. Okay, they are losing at home to Deportivo Alaves 1-0. It's 81 minutes played so far. For Elche and Espanyol, their match will kick off by 5:30 p.m. While for Athletic Bilbao, they will host Villarreal by 8 p.m. Tonight. In Italian Serie A, one match has ended there as Salernitana lost to Empoli 4-2. That's for the Italian Serie A. For Sassuolo versus Venezia, their match would happen by 5 p.m. For Bologna up against AC Milan will kick off by 7:45 p.m. This evening. For the Bundesliga, Emily Bielefeld beat they were lost at home actually to Borussia Dortmund 3 goals to 1. For Bayern Munich, they hammered Hoffenheim 4 goals to 0. RB Leipzig also trashed Greuther Fürth 4 goals to 1. For Wolfsburg, they were beaten by Freiburg 2 goals to 0. And for Hertha Berlin and Borussia Mönchengladbach, their game will kick off by 5:30 p.m. This evening. For the French Ligue 1, one match is currently ongoing. Nantes taking on Clermont-Foot, and it's 1-0 in favor of Nantes. It's halftime for this fixture, while Lille up against Brest will be by 8 p.m. tonight. Can we look at tomorrow's fixtures?
Yeah, go on.
Okay, so for tomorrow's fixture, I'm sure you're aware that tomorrow is Super Sunday for Manchester United and, of course, Liverpool. Before we give you the time for that, Brentford will be up against Leicester City, and then West Ham United will host Tottenham Hotspur, while the Mazda will wrap things up for the Premier League fixtures for tomorrow. Manchester United at the Old Trafford, the Theatre of Dreams, will face Liverpool by 4:30 p.m. That's the biggest one for this weekend in the English Premier League. Manchester United, they've not been having it easy, but then let's see how they will surmount the challenge. Liverpool, a team that are scoring goals so far this season. Let's see how they surmount that challenge. For the La Liga tomorrow, Sevilla will host Levante. Barcelona in the El Clasico will take on Real Madrid by 3:15 p.m. Tomorrow afternoon. So book it with this fixture. Real Betis.
This will be the best time for Real Madrid to play Barcelona in the El Clasico.
Absolutely.
Let's hurry. We've got to take a commercial.
Okay, for Real Betis, they'll face Rayo Vallecano, Atletico Madrid versus Real Sociedad. For Italian Serie A, Atlanta versus Udinese, Fiorentina up against Cagliari, Verona up against Lazio, Roma versus Napoli, Inter versus Juventus. Also tomorrow in the Bundesliga, FC Cologne host Bayer Leverkusen, VfB Stuttgart will host Union Berlin, Bochum versus Eintracht Frankfurt. For the French Ligue 1, Nice up against Lyon, Lens versus Mainz, Lorient up against Bordeaux, Reims will take on Troyes, Rennes versus Strasbourg, Monaco up against Montpellier, and of course Marseille will welcome Paris Saint-Germain tomorrow by 7:45 p.m.
Okay, let's go on this break. We'll be right back.
Milo! Hello! Give me Milo, please. 2 sachets.
Okay, oh. Are you sure you don't want to try something else?
This something else. Does it have Active Go?
Active K.
Active Go, that mix of protobolt, minerals, and vitamins.
Proto what?
Look, it's okay. Just give me my Milo, because things that I buy for my kids, I don't compromise one bit.
Give your kids winning energy. Milo Active Go, with the goodness of malt, milk, and cocoa, helps them make the most of every day. Milo, the energy to go further.
We have said it before.
We will still say it again.
Beware of human traffickers and smugglers who encourage irregular migration. Beware of offers of jobs in Europe. Beware of stories of getting rich quick once in Europe.
Beware of service of opportunities to become international model, football star, actor, actress, or singer in Europe.
Note, there is no easy way to making it big except crime.
And if you are caught, you will go in for it.
Europe is not Eldorado. Nobody picks money on the street. If you must travel,
do it the right way.
Say no to desert travel. Say no to crossing the sea to Europe. Don't be deceived.
Many have died in the desert, say, or even prison.
Say no to human trafficking. Say no to irregular migration.
This message is brought to you by the Italian Agency for Development Cooperation, Action Aid, VIDES, and Salesians of Don Bosco, Nigeria.